What's going on, guys? I am Michael Anthony, and today I am going to show you how to create amazing images using motion blur in camera. All right, guys, today we're gonna go into a little bit of a photography technique. I am gonna show you guys how to utilize motion blur to create amazing, stunning images in camera without the need for compositing pictures together, okay? So first of all, don't mind the new set here. We are in the process of building it out for our Elevate Lighting course, which is going to be launching later this year or early next year. We are working to get it out there fast. I know you guys are gonna love it. I'm excited to get it out there as well, too. So before we get into this, I just want to talk about why we do this, right? We are going to utilize motion blur in a variety of scenes in order to create the sense of movement or a dynamic image that is just different. So in order to understand what we're trying to accomplish, I want to show you guys a little bit behind the scenes from two recent engagement shoots that we did in Malibu on a single day. So let's go ahead and roll the B-roll and we'll be back in a second. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. So what we're gonna be doing here to create these type of images is a combination of camera settings and external gear. So let's talk about the gear that we need to do this, okay? My goal is to keep you traveling as light as possible. The first thing that you guys are gonna need to be able to do this in camera, especially during the daytime, is gonna be a quality ND filter. And if you don't have a quality ND filter, you're gonna have to wait till later in the day. Now, I recommend brands like Hoya or Tiffin. I am going to link to the specific ND filters that we use in the description below so that you guys are able to just pick them up pretty quickly and get going with this. Now, in order to make this work, you don't need to be at a beach scene, right? You don't need to have water and oceans and stuff like that. You can just do this with people in a downtown urban environment or in other places, right? But when you do this during the daytime, it makes the images look different because a lot of people have seen slow shutter speed types of images before, but when you do it in the daytime, it's completely unique and it takes a minute to set up, right? The second thing that you guys are gonna need is either a camera with in-body or lens stabilization or a combination of the two of them, or a good quality tripod, right? I did not use a tripod in the images that I created here. I utilized just a Sony A9, I believe it was, and it has in-body stabilization. If you're using a Micro Four Thirds camera like a Panasonic GH5 or a G9, you'll have even better results because the in-body stabilization on those cameras is even better. But if you guys are photographing with a Canon 5D and you want to utilize like a 24-70 lens, those combinations don't have stabilization. So you will probably need a tripod or extra steady hands. And one of the things you can do is just get down real low, tuck your elbows into your legs, and that'll help you guys to create a really tight image with no motion as well. okay? The next thing you're gonna do is you're going to set your aperture on your camera to its highest setting. So in this instance, I was between f16 and f22, depending on the lenses that I was using, okay? Then I'm gonna lower my camera's shutter speed down to about 1/8 of a second. That gives me enough movement in the water, but it still allows me to utilize a single shot to get steady couples, steady subjects, even though they're moving a little bit as they are posing, okay? But 1/8 of a second with image stabilization and the combination of that with the flash, which will help freeze the motion, is going to be able to freeze your subject. The next thing that you're gonna need to do this is a high-powered light. So we were utilizing the Profoto B10 Plus, which is a 500 watt second light. You could probably do this with a Godox 8200 because with the Fresnel lens, that is a very powerful light as well too. The point is that when you're at f22 with an ND filter on, you're gonna need a lot of power for that light to hit your subject. So that's why I recommend these high-powered lights. A single speed light's probably not gonna cut it, although you can take multiple speed lights and put them together like we used to do prior to the Profoto B1 launching back in 2014. So guys, after you guys set in your aperture and your shutter speed, then you're gonna screw your ND filter on. Then what you wanna do is you want to turn the variable part on the very front of the ND filter until you get to about a stop underexposed. Okay, now what you guys are gonna have is at 1/8 of a second, you're gonna have the ability to slow down the shutter, but you're still gonna be underneath your sync speed on your camera, so you're able to utilize the most efficient flash power that you can, right? Then you're gonna ask your couple to pose, and when you're posing your couples or your subjects, I recommend getting them really close and tight together. If they could sit down, that's even more of a plus. The point here is you don't want them waving, right? Like this, I'm waving right now. You don't want them doing this because then what ends up happening is you're gonna have them be blurry in your pictures, right? So we want to avoid that if at all possible, okay? Then you're gonna dial in your flash power before you even get your shot. Once your flash power, and it's probably gonna be at 1:1, just helpful hint right there. Once your flash power is dialed in, your subjects are posed, then it's all about timing. So when you're photographing at the beach, okay, the way that you'll do this, and by the way, we always get asked in these images if we are boating our clients out to the rocks, and no, we're not. You guys can see from the behind the scenes video that all we're doing is we're waiting for that water to recede, having our clients jump up on the rocks, and then we take the photograph as the water comes, it wraps around the rocks and then recedes. And that motion, as it's doing that, at 1/8 of a second, allows us to create these amazing photos where the water looks like it's moving. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tip. That is all I have for you guys today. If you guys like it, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. As always, I am Michael Anthony. Thank you guys for watching. You are awesome, and I will catch you on the next video.